I present to you the copper pipe heater hoses. Yeah.
All right.
Hey guys, welcome to Jeep Sheep TV. This week I've got something kind of fun for you, just different. My engine bay featured two very unsightly hoses, and they are the heater hoses. I came up with a solution that's a little out of the ordinary. Whoa. I present to you the copper pipe heater hoses. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I did, and here's the rationale behind it. The original hoses, they follow the side of the engine, and it even has factory clips on the head for the heater hoses, and then they come and they make a sharp right-hand turn, and they go then into your heater core. And all of this is for better clearance to get to your spark plugs and just all around engine bay management. So my thought process was this: what if we made this out of something solid that would be really easy to create angles and whatnot? And so I came up with copper pipe. Yay. Okay, so this I believe is 3/4 inch pipe, and this is 1/2 inch. I'm just going off of the diameters of the existing hoses, and I learned how to solder copper pipe, which is pretty cool. We've got the original hose that I had making this curve here, and all of the attachments are hose because copper pipe doesn't like vibration very much. So we have isolated it from the engine with hose. Copper pipe is also very resistant to high pressure, which is great, and temperature. I've got a little piece of tape right there, which is just acting as a barrier for vibration. So that's pretty cool. I'm just kind of running with it. It's just something kind of fun. It makes it look a little bit more like, say, a Ratrod or more steampunk style, giving me that steam engine look. I've been running for a little while now, and I am seeing one issue right here in between these two pipes where they're rubbing. I've got something green, so I need to investigate that and see if that is a leaking pipe or just some enhanced corrosion or a chemical reaction between the two materials. So let's take a look at that. All right, let's crawl in and do some investigation. So this is a non-adhesive tape. It's well, it's self-adhesive, I suppose. It only sticks to itself, which is really cool, and it doesn't leave gummy residue on whatever you're doing, which makes it perfect for this, because if I need to take it out, I can. And look, it's not all gross, which is nice. Okay, so it looks like the interior of this is a little bit wet, and there is some wet there as well. So is this a bad solder on my part? And the answer might be yes. It could also be vibration between the two pipes, causing the solder to fail as they clatter together, which is not great. We don't want to be seeing that. It appears that is what has happened. This has been running, like I said, for, I don't know, couple thousand miles, something like that. And so this is a really good chance for us to test and see, you know, is this a viable option? And I'm gonna say that with the vibration present, this might not be a long-lasting option, but it looks cool. That is really strange though. Look at that. It's like, it's not as liquidy, it's like paste. I'm not really sure what that smell is either. Doesn't smell like the right stuff. Let's take these guys off of here and see how we did. I've got a towel laying down here. There's going to be some coolant in these lines, because they should be full of coolant if they're working properly. And do it one at a time here. First one will be the big one. Here we go. There's your coolant. Now we can just take this guy and kind of bend it up to reduce the amount that's coming out of there. This will also be full of coolant. This one, we are going to try and tip upward. Okay. The idea here is that we're draining it back into the engine. That's dribbling down onto the floor. Oops. Need a bigger towel. Oh, shit. Alright, now this is going to leak all over the place. And that's going to leak all over the place. Yep. Ta-da! Nice thing about coolant is to some degree it evaporates, so you can get all over. Keep it away from animals though. It tastes sweet and they might want to eat it. And you don't want them to want to eat it. That is bad. So. And there we go again. So the rag is directing the coolant away from all the stuff I don't want getting wet. So it's working. But I'm still making a huge mess. Let's take a look at how these did. They've been on for probably over a year, I would assume. And I put this tape on, not to stop a leak, but to keep it from rattling. So, but I did notice that that also happened to be an area with a slight leak. Beautiful blue color in there. So copper oxidizes green. This is blue. So I'm thinking the blue is a mixture of the oxidized copper, green, and the coolant, which is like yellowish green. So maybe that's where blue's coming from. I don't really know. I'm gonna get a knife for this. Oh, look at that. So in here, we can see something was leaking a little bit, and not a lot. I never saw like a puddle or anything of this. But it was leaking a little bit, and it was living inside of this tape. Fascinating. Honestly, it held up though. I would say that for proof of concept, you can definitely use copper pipe for heater hoses, or radiator hoses, or really whatever you want, I guess. But I would caution you, they're not super vibration resistant, and they corrode a little bit. All in all, I would count this as a success. The only downfall is it is wildly more expensive than just running a hose. So if you're looking to do this to save money, probably not. If you're looking to do this to stand out and look cool, go for it. Do it. It's awesome. Okay, now here we are. These are the factory hoses that belong here. I was going to show you the installation of this, and then I realized it's not even remotely interesting or that difficult, and then I didn't. But I will give you one tip. See this smaller line, the bottom line? Do that one first. It's on the bottom. It'll be a lot easier to get to. Also, another tip is if you have a supercharger in the way, and yeah, that's what this is, and yeah, there will be or already are, depending on when this video comes out, videos about this supercharger. If you have one of these in the way, it'll make it a little bit more difficult. Otherwise, you fit it on, and you either use hose clamps, or these are the factory squeeze style clamps. You put them on, and it's really that simple. This one is from a TJ. It's from a newer Jeep, and I chose it specifically because hoses don't last forever, and I figured a newer Jeep would be a good idea. These feel like they're in pretty good shape. It's got the factory shielding here. It's pre-bent, and it's got the factory little clamp style clamps. So it looks pretty nice. Hopefully this will work just as well, if not better, than the copper, and I will have better heat in the winter time. Lastly, you drained a little bit of coolant, so just drop some in your reserve tank, and if it needs more coolant, it'll suck it out of there. If the reserve tank goes completely empty, you need more coolant, so put it in. Alright, it's not your average project for sure, nor is it something that I highly recommend, but it is kind of cool, and it was a good solution. Now, if you're thinking this is a cost save, you're absolutely wrong. I was thinking, hey, I'll grab some copper pipe, I'll slap it together, and it'll be just a fun, inexpensive way to make my Jeep look cool, and it was like $50 in supplies when I was all said and done, and that was not what I was expecting. So, not really my intention, but it does give me a unique look and sets me apart, and that's worth something in my heart. Anyway, if you guys like stuff like this, weird things, or even more in-depth how-tos all surrounding Jeeps, of course, you can definitely subscribe to this channel. I'd love to see you back here. All right, see you on the trails.